Merhaba, her hafta yeni bir bölümle karşınızda olduğumuz Sinemaskop yine dolu dolu. Uzun zamandır beklediğimiz filmler, sinema dünyasından son haberler ve dosyalar, vizyon filmlerinin kamera arkaları programda. Sinema dünyasından habersiz kalmamak için hemen Sinemaskop'a başlıyoruz.
Who takes up the knife?
Cannot trust a one. Another one?
Polisiyenin kraliçesi Agatha Christie, edebiyat dünyasına yaptığı eşsiz katkılarının yanı sıra Beyaz Perdenin polisiye açığını da kapatıyor. 1934 yılında yayımlanan ve ilk yayımlandığı günden bu yana popülerliğinden hiçbir şey yitirmeyen kült romanı Doğu Ekspresinde Cinayet, bundan 43 sene önce 74 yılında Beyaz Perde'ye aktarılmıştı. O zaman da dönemin en başarılı oyuncuları yer almıştı. Dedektif Hercule Poirot'un Orta Doğu'dan kalkan bir trende işlenen cinayeti aydınlatma çalışmasının öyküsü şimdi ikinci kez Beyaz Perde'de ve böyle yıldızlı kadroyu ancak bu film toplayabilir. Kamera arkasını seyredin.
Would you mind if I join you? You're the world-famous detective, Hercule Poirot. Avenger of the innocent. Is that what they call you in the papers?
And you are innocent?
You're fun.
He's not the guy you want to spend very much time with. He'll find a way to ruin you, if he can. I think he's probably the ultimate borderline personality disordered gangster, opportunist, menace, psychopath. Yeah, he's a fascinating character. This kind of stuff, I think, translates to cinema so beautifully because really, ultimately, the job is done for you visually by Agatha Christie. The character work is pretty much done. Everything translates so well because she did not, the detail with which she approached her books and these characters and her observations. It's astonishing. It's quite, it's impressive. No, I don't think, if you really think about it, it would be quite an interesting, it'd be quite interesting to know the process that she went through as she was writing a book. Now I have to read a book about her to find out. I'd been on the Orient Express before, and it's almost exact. It pretty much is exact. It still has that sort of, that class. So it was, that class, that elegance, that. It was really, that was quite something.
Well, hello.
Eyes linger any longer, I'll have to charge rent.
I'll pay.
She's a little bit, in a 1930s kind of way, like a bull in a china shop for that era. She's maybe a little too curious at times, but she's a lot of fun and a little lonely and loves to travel. I don't really know how he did it, but he would, at the end of a take, once he found his way back to me because he had 10 other actors to stop and give notes to on the way, it was as if he was replaying every moment. Like, I don't know if he has this kind of photographic memory or something. I don't honestly know, but I would watch him and it was as if he was replaying our scene and he would go through it moment by moment and he would pick out his notes to me and then he'd be off. And it was like a checklist, and he was just sort of checking it off, and it was kind of extraordinary.
Are you insulted?
Disappointed. Some men have a good look.
It's really a dream cast, and each and every one of them I've admired and wanted to work with, and I literally teared up when I met Judi Dench. I had worked with Johnny before, but other than that, I hadn't worked with any of them. And not only are they all incredibly gifted and accomplished, but such fun people to be around, which is lucky for us because we were sort of stuck in a cabin together for hours and weeks and months on end.
And who are you?
My name is Hercule Poirot, and I am probably the greatest detective in the world.
He's an Austrian engineering professor. He's on his way to Turin to give a speech on the military uses of bakelite. He's a man that expresses opinions that are kind of offensive to some of the other passengers because he's very aware of place and hierarchies and race. And given that it's 1933 and he's quite buttoned down, quite serious guy, he's someone to watch, and I think he's a pretty good candidate when we're looking for, in this whodunit, he's a good who candidate. You know, when actors are asked about other actors, they're always going to say nice things. But trust me, this is a very good group. And I think it's a testament to Ken's direction and organization and how the production has been run, that it's a group that really gets along together. And since it's an ensemble piece, there's a lot of time where you're around people supporting other people, and you're, I wouldn't say marginal in the scene, but you're not doing the heavy lifting. And that's true of almost all the characters with the exception of Poirot. So you need a certain kind of patience and a certain kind of willingness to support. So no room for prima donnas. And in this group, there were really none.
I'm sleeping here, where everyone can see me. And I can see everyone. She is kind of free-spirited young woman who is travelling seemingly alone, a governess. She likes taking pictures. She has this kind of wonderful exchange with Poirot at the beginning, and it kind of sets off this really nice dynamic between them that kind of drives through to the end, actually. So I was excited on so many levels, and then was obviously super, super nervous and felt like I didn't really deserve to be there, and he made me feel so comfortable and so happy and like I was a great addition, which is a nice feeling when you feel slightly overwhelmed by the people you're working with. It's unbelievable. And it was annoying because there were drone shots or something that got leaked. People going, oh my God, the set looks great. And I was like, don't look, but I know. So great. And then when we were on the train, and also what was amazing is we were only on the train, fully on the train that moved together, all together. So it was really wonderful because it was the first time we'd all been together with Lucy and Sergei, because some of us had been together before, but as the full 12. And then the train was moving, and it was joyous.
I see evil on this train. A passenger has died.
He said, Judy, I wonder, would you be interested? I said, yes. He said, should you not know? I said, no, I don't need to know. Whatever it is, I'll do it. And that's exactly what happened. And that's what I said yes to. And it happened to be this.
You know, there is something about that tangle of strangers, pressed together for days with nothing in common but the need to go from one place to another and never see each other again.
It's a very, very curious feeling, because you're in the studio, but you seem to be rushing through the Italian Alps. When you get out, you want it to be Venice, actually, of course, and it isn't, it's Longcross, but that doesn't matter. Oh, yes, because you completely suspend belief, because also the train is moving. The train, it moved and everything went past.
The Orient Express and the route it takes from Istanbul east to west is a wondrous one, and to feel the miles under you as you travel is incredible. And Agatha Christie invites the audience to do the same thing and to have some fun with a Poirot who's on holiday. So he's a little lighter-hearted at the beginning of the story, but in a way that he has not encountered. She puts him in front of what he characterizes as evil on this train. And it's an evil that he begins to understand is wrapped up in another mystery and another murder from the past, and where the depth of feeling, the crime of passion that this might represent, of a certain kind of revenge, takes the story to a very dark place, I think, a very human place, but unsettling and uneasy for him, and not full of easy, witty, intellectual solutions. It carries a much more grey area of moral complexity and emotional sensitivity. You get surprised, but not just in your head. You get really surprised in your heart. Agatha Christie, I think, has real relish in storytelling and in the kind of structure that gives you a glamorous location, then that moving location confined, trapped dramatically, and then a group of unlikely companions, a tangle of strangers, as the screenplay would have it, locked together for days, produces the possibility of dramatic conflict, humour and tension in such a sort of compressed and sort of volcanic way that if you add into that violent crime, it's a very potent combination. She seems to absolutely relish what that does. She is expert at bringing depth with economy to the observation of the characters and making them distinct and colourful but believable. And I think she enjoys the dazzle of that. But here you have glamour, you have snow and bad weather, you have elegance and an age of romance in travel, and you have murder.
Hey, make me a believer,
It is time to solve this case.
Yoğun bir sinema turunun ardından yine Sinemaskop'un sonuna geldik. Haftaya yine dolu dolu bir bölümle aynı gün ve saatte tekrar ekranlarınızda karşınızda olacağız. Hafta içi boyunca sinemadan haberdar olmak istiyorsanız da sizleri sosyal medya hesaplarımıza bekliyoruz. Sinemasız kalmayın. İzlemediğiniz filmde kalmasın. Hoşça kalın.